Hello, I'm John, the executive producer here at Final Show Films. I got a few notes for you before the show. First, I want to thank you all for watching. We couldn't do what we do or the amount of things that we do without the support of you, the viewer. If you want to support us financially, which we always appreciate, you can go to our Patreon page at patreon.com/fsfilms, where you can donate as little as $1 a month to help us continue this and all the things that we do. I want to give a special shout out to our $25 supporters, Antitonic, Waterflame, and Samantha Bates. Second, I want to let you all know that we here at Final Show Films are planning a little get-together up at Gen Con this year. That's August 2nd through 5th up at Indianapolis. We're going to be up there just sort of hanging out, enjoying the con, spending time together, and if any of you guys want to come up and say hi, please feel free. We don't bite unless you want us to. And if you enjoy whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to, be sure to check out our website at finalshowfilms.com, where you can find links to all of our other content, both podcast and video. And be sure to follow me at John A. Bates on Twitter for more updates on all of the content we're creating in the future. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy. And we're live!
Hello! Sorry. Sorry. I'm so used to you having at least one other thing to say. But no. Hi, I am William. I am the Dungeon Master for this Curse of Strahd campaign, and let's go ahead and go straight into introducing our player characters. We're short Jeremy. He might be joining us in a bit, but right now he is not present. We have with us today, we have Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron, and I am playing Connie, the zealot barbarian of...
Soon.
Thank you. That's how her name's pronounced. Soon.
We have John.
Hello, I'm John, and I'm playing Maria de Nazul, the human hexblade warlock of Please Shut Up and Let Me Kill You.
And we have Jeff.
Hey, I'm Jeff. I am playing Jonel, the elven sunsoul monk.
And Jeremy is playing Valis, the Grave Domain cleric, who will be joining us shortly. But when last we left off, the party had been escorted by Stanimir to the location of Madame Ava's campsite, along with Irina Kolyana and Ismark Kolyana. Irina Kolyanovich and Ismark Kolyanovich. Bleh, long names. To the Kolyanova. Sorry, sidetracking my own brain. To the camp of Madame Ava, who offered the group a fortune to be told about the locations of potential tools to aid them in the battle with Strahd. The location of an enemy who would be valuable in defeating Strahd, and the location of your final climactic battle with the vampire himself. All of which I hope the party has written down.
Yes, I have the 4 notes, the 4 fortunes and results.
All right, good. And from there, the party has learned that they'll be continuing without Stanimir's caravan to wherever they choose to go now, because this is where they stop. And their next destination, I believe, is the town of Vallaki to finish delivering Irina and Ismark to potential safety. So that is where we let off. And so that's where we pick up.
Yes, so stepping out of the tent. Alright, well, I believe we have a destination in mind for our next leg of this journey, unless anyone has any other things they need to do while we're here.
No, I think
let me see if I can do a good Jeremy impression. I would like to leave now.
I
Connie
agree.
will nod.
I agree. The less time we stick around this camp, the better.
All right. Then I'll look around for Irina and brother.
Irina and Ismark are still around the fire, just kind of watching the Vistana enjoy themselves. Or Vistani.
All right. Well, Irina and Ismark, if you are prepared, then I believe it is time for us to get out of here. We want to make Make haste. We will not have access to the carts or horses, so we will be walking on foot. And the faster we move, the faster we arrive at this supposed safe place.
Right. Then we should make our movements as quick as possible then.
Indeed, we should.
All right.
And we're off.
And so you all make your way out of the camp.
Yep.
Move you back to Barovia as a whole.
So, just for clarification, because there are no names on this map, or at least not many, I assume they're hidden from us. We are at this lakeside settlement right here, just south of the castle, right?
Yes, you are at the Sare Pools.
Ah, there it is. Yes, they are hidden. Haha. And we're heading... Where is Valaki?
Valaki is over
this big-
here.
Okay, so it's that big town by the lake.
Mhm.
Okay.
Valaki is a name that I can see, John.
I can now see it, yeah.
Yeah, I just put it on the layer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was... There are like little indications of where names should be that I am assuming they're all on the GM layer until we're there, until we know where they're at. All right. Well then, shall we away on the road? I believe we need to continue
No.
on this road.
Road?
Yes,
Heading-
we should be heading north. We'll be traveling in the shadow of Castle Ravenloft, so be careful.
Of course.
Hilariously, Castle Ravenloft does not have a name anywhere near it. You're just expected to know that the castle on the hill is Castle Ravenloft.
I mean, it is kind of the obvious one.
I
There's-
don't see any castle. What are you talking about?
There's
That's
No,
not
there's
a
definitely
thing that I
no
can
castle
guess.
sitting on the hill.
there's one castle on the map. Whose do you think it is?
No, I got this one.
Stenimir.
Okay.
Giant temple to Pelor.
Yes, that's
It's-
it exactly.
It's Bob von Sarovich,
Bob
Sure.
von Zarovich's castle.
Strahd's lesser-known cousin.
So we, assuming nothing else to be done in the
Yep.
camp.
All right, I feel like this is a good indicator of your position.
Sure. Head up the road.
All right. So I would need someone to roll me 2d20s, please.
I'll roll one. I never
One.
get to roll these.
You got it? Okay. Go ahead.
I'm always asking other people to roll them. 3.
All right.
11.
Off to a good start.
So over the course of the next hour, the group of you travel mostly in silence. As you make your way along the forbidding and eerie woods that still mark this region, you eventually come to a large stone bridge, which marks off the crossing of the Ivlis River as it meets the intersection towards Castle Ravenloft, and you make your way to this dilapidated stone bridge that is making the way over the river. And you notice to your left, as you follow the river to the base of the canyon, at the far end of which a great waterfall spills into a pool, billowing forth clouds of cold mist. This gray stone bridge spans the canyon nearly 1,000 feet overhead of the water.
I'm certain this bridge will not collapse as we cross it and send us tumbling to our deaths.
Examine the bridge. Make sure look at is it actually structurally
can
sound?
Yes, we would like to investigate the
Go
bridge.
ahead and roll me an investigation check.
I'm good at those.
You were saying, Aaron? I was about to say something.
I was saying, can I make that investigation roll?
Absolutely can.
I rolled a natural 1.
I can try.
You can certainly try.
I have a +4, makes it a 5.
So, Jonelle, the rest of you, this bridge looks super slick and old and dilapidated, but is made of pretty solid stone. Jonelle, the cavern walls are incredibly slick and probably couldn't be climbed without the use of climbing gear.
Canyon walls.
Yeah, the canyon walls, like that the bridge passes over. But the bridge itself, also while slick with water, is relatively solid and should be safe to cross. There are a number of stone gargoyles that mark the sides of the bridge.
Okay, well, it looks like it should hold our weight.
Well, I volunteer Valis to move forward. He is wearing the most armor.
Valis kind of gives you a dead stare and just...
I'll
If it
I'll
holds you,
go
it'll help the
across-
rest of us.
If that makes this move faster, then sure.
actually I'll go across. I'll go across first. Here's a rope. Hold on to this as I cross.
Connie will take the rope.
Good idea.
There's a very deadpan look when Maria grabs for it, and a meaningful glance at the spindly arms.
It's a good idea, yes. Well, I will pat Connie on the bicep.
And Jonelle will make his way across.
All right, Jonelle, as you're crossing, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Oh, wonderful. No, not too bad.
Okay.
Unnatural.
You make it across the bridge.
Okay, now is the stone gargoyle on this side, is it secured?
They're like statues that are sitting on the edges of the bridge. They kind of line it in a couple locations.
I have a question.
Yes.
Being from Thay, and thus being familiar with all manner of grotesqueries, some of which used to be living, can I tell anything about these gargoyles?
Go ahead and roll me another investigation check.
Roll more than a 1. 16.
These seem to be your standard, like, carved in the likeness of some fearsome monster gargoyles. You know, the wings on the arms and the horns on the head and the big angry fanged mouth.
Okay, so they look like grotesqueries, not gargoyles that are going to come to life when we cross the bridge.
I mean, they didn't come across when Janelle crossed the bridge.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tie the rope around one of the gargoyles and motion for everyone to cross.
Well, I guess I will go next. I'll say, holding the rope and, like, using it to walk across. Just
Can I make like an intelligence check for how bad of an idea it is to let the gargoyle hold the rope?
Go ahead.
Oh no,
What would that be?
I'm waiting to go fly.
That would be a wisdom saving throw.
Excellent.
Gargoyle animates and takes
I'm
off.
sure it's fine. I have no
What?
questions about this
It's
whatsoever.
absolutely
What
fine.
could
There is
possibly
nothing that
go
could
wrong?
possibly go
Like I
wrong.
said, I'm waiting.
Unnatural 1, by the way.
Yeah, I think.
I am waiting to become a kite. It's going to happen soon.
You walk across this bridge and your footsteps make a vague splash as there's just the faintest sheen of water on these slick cobblestones that form this bridge, and you very strongly resist the urge to look over the edge because you know it's more than 1,000-foot drop into the water below. And you just very slowly and carefully make your plodding way across this stone bridge, and eventually you make your way to the other side.
Ah, very good, very good. I call back across. Perhaps we shall send our guests across next.
Connie will look at the guests.
Irina and Ismark kind of look at you and nod. All right, Irina, let's go. And the two of them make their way across very quickly and safely. Valis looks at you. Which one of us will be going next?
Connie will shrug and start to head across.
Valis, at this point, done with this shit, just also starts walking at the same time as Connie.
Fair enough, yeah.
And you both, as you walk along the bridge, you kind of look around, and the gargoyles almost seem to be staring at you in the darkness of this of the near setting sun. That sun, air quotes, as it is starting to get darker. But nothing seems to move or reach out a hand to claw at you.
Oh.
Lovely architecture, I
Okay.
say, from the other side. Well, let's
Retrieve the rope and okay.
All right.
That was thankfully uneventful.
Yes. This bridge is unnerving. Let's please leave.
All right. Okay. So, I would like you guys to roll me another set of 2 D20s.
I will take one. 12.
Oh,
Hang it.
okay.
Nope. It would help if I'm in the chat box when I'm typing.
Type/roll 20. That's a 7. 12 and 7. Strahd appears and eats you.
Okay, we were talking about how this is a hard module, but that's not hard. That's unfair.
That's just you don't want to progress.
I would like someone to roll me a combination of a D12 and a D8.
Okay. 1d12 plus 1d8?
Yes.
1 and 1 makes it 2.
1 + 1 = fish.
All right. So, as you are maneuvering, you find yourself once again approaching. As you continue to walk, the forest seems to spread a little bit, but the hills become higher and more imposing, and you eventually reach what is essentially a small valley of these rocky hills that leads further north past the looming castle of Ravenloft, and as you reach, once again, another set of these massive stone gates that sort of spill this fog as the huge, imposing statues on either side of the gate once again rest completely beheaded with their heads resting on the ground in front of them. The gates are closed before you as you stand in front of them.
We do not have a member of the, what are they called? The Vistani with us, so I don't think they will open on their own.
Look around. Any guards posted? Nothing? Big knocker on the gate?
Yeah, I'll be looking around, seeing if there's any levers or anything like that. I see shit.
16.
Connie, the hairs on the back of your neck are starting to stand up a little bit.
I'll just grip my quarterstaff a little tighter.
I'll walk up to the gate and just like push on it.
As you walk up to the gate, it slowly
Ah.
Creaks open.
I guess the Vistani are not required after all. I will peer through and see if anything's waiting to chop my head off.
As you step through the gate and you look to either side of your left and right, you find you find yourself staring face first into a pale visage, staring at you with this faint pale blue skin and flowing hair that blows with no wind, floating just faintly off the ground as her clothing seems almost translucent as the rest of her form is, as she reaches out a hand towards you with a faint, low wail. And I'm going to need you to roll some initiative.
Found it!
The random battle map.
I can see nothing.
Yeah, you guys aren't emitting light yet, so give me 1 second.
I
Who
have.
has torch?
I don't have a torch, but I have 120 feet of dark vision.
Okay, so you have.
I've got 60 feet of dark vision.
I've got 120 feet of perfect vision.
I have a light spell, which is whatever a light spell is. Give me a second.
Lights. I think it's 30 dim, 30 light, 30 bright, 30 dim.
Yes.
Valis will be joining us momentarily.
All right, cool. So, let's see. Is Devil Sight just dark vision that can see through magical darkness, or is it just you see perfectly?
You see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 120 feet.
Okay.
God damn it. Okay, third attempt's the charm. There we go. It's actually accepting compendium stuff now.
It's 20 by 20. 20 and 20.
Okay, so you have that one. And 20 by 20 for Connie, and everyone can see that one. 40.
As my dog shit rolls continue.
Jonelle's going first.
All right.
All right. Anyone else have a light source? Or is it just
Hey,
Connie?
Valis is here.
Hello.
Welcome to die.
Everyone else has dark vision.
We wandered across a bridge, and now there's ghosts.
Cool.
We continued on. We figured Valis would appreciate continuing on.
Yeah, that works. Also, fuck mobile devices that need to be plugged in and don't get plugged in.
That could be the source of the problem.
Yes, it's not my fault for not plugging them in at all.
It's okay.
They should just stay charged.
They should
for
charge
me.
themselves. Like we
Yes.
have wireless battery charging. Why isn't it everywhere?
Why isn't it self-charging? Why is my phone not a droid?
Why do we not?
Because people didn't listen to Tesla.
All right. So we have your opponent, who is over here next to Maria, as the rest of you are by the door to the gate.
Only two of us have rolled initiative thus far.
I will.
What are you talking about? I can see
I will
fine.
draw.
Oh, I should note that those of us who have torches, etc., that light is visible to everyone.
Yes.
I don't know if it is, but
We
Yeah,
can't.
I have your light set is visible to everyone.
Yeah,
So.
we couldn't tell anyways because all of us have dark. Because the other three of us have dark vision.
Well, no, you only have
You
like
have
dark vision
more
just
dark
means that you
vision
see.
than
most.
Yeah,
That's
you have better dark vision.
That's right. I
It's
have.
just everyone else has in darkness you can see as if it were dim light.
That's right. I have the good shit.
Connie's light spell is
you
helping.
made a deal with the demon.
No, with a sword.
Close enough.
Ascension-ish sword. You made a deal with a talkie sword.
Yes, I did.
All right. So I can get an initiative roll from Connie and Valis while I make an initiative roll for the goose as well.
Right.
Absolutely. What are we fighting?
A ghost.
Oh, okay, good.
William,
I'm happy with fighting ghosts.
Do you want me to send you my... I have a macro where you just have to select a token and you can hit a button and it'll roll the initiative for whatever
Yes,
that
please.
token's assigned to? Yeah.
Yes,
it makes
please.
it so much easier. It makes it so much easier.
Also, I need to set this ghost to always whisper its rolls.
Do I have a higher dexterity than the ghost?
What's your dex?
My dex is 16.
Yes, you have a higher dex than the ghost. You are going first. The ghost is going last, which means it probably isn't going to go.
All right.
I mean, it's not like we have 3 people that are specifically designed to kill ghosts on the team.
This is what happens when you roll a 2 on the monster counter.
Yeah.
All right, so Jonelle, you see this ghost emerge from the walls beside the door as Maria walks through them, and it begins to reach out for her. Go ahead and take your turn.
And Jarrell will cup his hands together, focus as a little ball of light shows up between his hands, and he will do his Hadoken, basically.
Kamehameha.
No, it's a key blast. Not strong enough for a Kamehameha. That's a sunbeam.
So I'm hoping a 26 hit.
Yes, 26 hits. Roll damage.
Hadouken!
And I'm going to spend a key point to fire off 2 more bolts.
All right.
11 and a natural 20.
Both of those hit. Roll damage.
Sent the code to you in Slack, William. Just put that in a macro, and
Okay.
if you make it a token, a
So
token
another
action,
17.
all you have to do is select the token and hit the button.
So that is 9.
Remind me to get that from you for my game.
16
In Slack.
Thanks.
plus 16 plus 11 is 27 total damage in one go. All right.
And you can
All right. So, Jonelle, you just bring your hands together and form this small sphere of light between them, and just toss 3 of them at this ghost, which impacts against her, and she reels from the impact of the radiant energy, which then brings us back around to Valis. It's your turn.
You said my name.
Yes. Sorry, we're dropping you right in the middle of
That's
things.
okay. He blinks for a second. Oh, ghost? Kill ghost. Yes. And let's see.
We rolled ghost, and we rolled 1 ghost.
Interestingly, try and. Interestingly, he's just actually instead of actually cast or trying to hit said ghost, because I don't have an. Oh no, I do. I have guiding bolt. Never mind. As Jeremy blah 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 as he tries to figure out what the fuck he's gonna do. 23 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
For 13 damage. Radiant
Ow.
damage.
Is there still a ghost for me to kill?
There is still a ghost for now.
Excellent. I'm gonna
Connie.
raid.
All right, Connie.
Hold on one second. I gotta step away real quick.
I like that visually what has happened is I've opened the door, stepped through, looked to the left as a ghost, and then it just got nuked.
And raging attacks have another thing now.
what does your rage do for your attacks now that you are a full-blown zealot? When you're raging, the first creature you hit on each of your turns with a weapon attack takes extra damage equal to 1d6 plus half your barbarian level. This extra damage is necrotic or radiant. You choose the type of damage when you gain this feature. I'm assuming radiant.
Yeah, it's radiant. I feel like necrotic would not be very in character.
Not be very pretty.
Yeah, well, that too.
Yeah, I feel like the beauty of entropy isn't appreciated by Soon.
Soon's a bitch.
All right, go ahead and roll your attack.
Quarterstaff, two-hand. Okay. That's the two-handed one, yeah. 22.
All right, that hits. Roll damage.
Um,
That's 7
7
points of
plus
bludgeoning
divine
damage.
fury.
That's
And
7
then I think I get a second.
That's at level 5.
I think I get a bonus action.
Use your bonus action to rage.
Right. Yes. I don't get it the first round.
But as you ram your staff into this creature, the incorporeal nature of it means that the staff strike didn't do as much, but there is a small burst of divine energy at the end of it that blasts outward and sends this ghost scattering into the ether. It is defeated. Maria, what basically just happened is you open this door and turn to your left, and there's a ghost reaching for you. And before you could react, the rest of your companions were on it, and it was.
William, can you
Before
adjust?
you could react, there was a pile of divine energy.
Yeah, William, can you adjust your mic so it's closer to you? We're losing bits of what you're saying.
You can get to me without impeding my mouse.
It might be. Is Skype?
Angle?
Is Skype reading it?
It could be.
Because it sounds like you're a lot further away.
Reading on Yeti stereo microphone.
Yes, turn the...
And then back to
Oh,
Yeti.
now you're much louder.
And now I'm back to the Yeti stereo microphone.
I guess turn the gain up on the Yeti then. That'll probably help. Anyways,
Is it? No, wait.
I look over.
Yep.
Well,
How's
think
that for gain?
better? Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thank you, my comrades. That was surprising.
All right. Well,
The
Because
wonders
probably
of this place keeps on coming.
I look around to see if there are any more ghosts.
there do not appear to be.
I find it strange that a single ghost appeared to attack, but I will not. There's a term for whatever it is I'm trying to say, and I will explicitly say that term.
To be fair, you don't know that it was attacking you. It was reaching out to you. It never actually got to do it.
No, it's like. Bruh.
The
Look
ghost
around,
is
is there
actually
any-
like neighbor, come here, my friend.
Look around. Is there any like,
like,
grave or
"Help
dead body
me!"
around?
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Certainly it had something to do with chickens, eggs, and
6.
or
So
gift horses and their mouths.
there's forest.
Yeah, you do not see any indication of what may have caused the ghost to settle here. No, it's 6 anyway.
Just gonna look up at the clouds. How much more time do we have before it becomes true night?
You got about half an hour.
Right, so as fun as this has been, shall we continue on quickly?
Yes.
Try to get as far away from the castle as we can before night falls.
All right, so you make your way further down. You make it about.
Double time!
I'd like someone to roll me another d20.
On it.
I've rolled 2 of them, so
I mean, I need to point out to you people that last night trying to attack my players, I rolled a double nat 1 with advantage. So
Nice.
I saw that. Yeah.
Nice,
I also,
nice.
though, however, managed to murder one of my PCs. So
Congratulations. That's always
Thank you.
fun.
Congratulations.
uh,
Oh, Aaron, did you successfully murder two? Have you now successfully murdered two of Jeremy's characters, or did one of them leave?
yes,
Okay, murdered is an overstatement. Murdered is an overstatement.
6.
Okay. I like that you're rolling a death save for that.
It's a straight natural 20,
Right.
and in Barovia, that seems appropriate.
It
Yeah.
does. It does seem appropriate.
Okay, now that's what I'm gonna have to roll every time I roll just a random d20.
I mean, I feel
Yeah,
like
Jeremy's characters seem to be the ones that get crits hit on them in my games.
I feel like I should actually take the special roll out of my attacks and use that every time I need to roll it for a wild magic surge with Selena. Just roll a death save.
And so you managed to make it through the small section of wood on the other side of the gate, back into more of this hilly terrain, mostly unscathed. I would like someone to roll me another one of those d20s, though.
Jeremy, you've been missing for the first 5 minutes. You get to roll the second one too.
Yay! 19.
All right, now the fun stuff
Also,
happens.
for Selena has only turned into a plant once.
This is true.
Jeremy, could you please roll me a d12 and a d8? And add them
D12.
together?
Okay.
1d12 plus 1d8.
12 plus 1.
I love that this is the random encounter dice for Strahd, by the way. The d12.
3. Because me.
Well,
I
wait,
rolled a
John
2
rolled a
last
2.
time.
Hey,
so
hey, we don't know if low is good or bad in this particular context.
It was good in the last one. Let's find out if it's bad this time.
All right, what is your marching order?
That sounds bad.
I
I
am.
would take
feel like
I
I would
assume
be-
we have the civilian sort of in the center.
Yes.
Citizen Center. I think Jonelle would take point.
I'll be second, like right behind whoever's in front, talking to the.
Connie will be in the back to
sister.
smack anything that sneaks
All right,
up behind us.
whoever's
Valis
taking
will
point.
be very annoyed if he is in the middle and he needs to be where the protected people are, but he will accept that.
Whoever's on point, roll me a survival check.
You're on the middle. You're back next to Connie. It's like
That's still the middle.
Jonelle,
18.
me, the guests, you, and Connie.
I'm actually proficient in this.
How hard is this to find? All right.
Extremely hard as the undead T-Rex steps on you.
Very stealthy undead.
Okay.
just
Jeremy,
a T-Rex
can my
bones.
next character be an halfling Everon like zombie maker with the zombie mount?
A halfling necromancer with a zombie with a zombie T-Rex.
I am oddly not opposed to this idea.
Hang on, I need
God
to
damn it,
find
I was
out.
just talking about how I could throw Edwin off bridges but wasn't inclined to.
Valis, I need you to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, dexterity save? Okay.
Yes.
I'm good at those. Oh, wait.
Come on,
I'm
plate
not.
mail.
Splint mail, thank you very much. Or scale mail.
Right, scale mail. My apologies.
Or 6.
So, you take 2 points of pierce. You're walking. You're walking in the you're walking in the woods. There's nothing around, and your phone is dead. You take 2 points of piercing damage. Ah, your leg! It's caught in a bear trap.
He looks down.
Sorry, I had to make the Shia LaBeouf reference because it was literally
Damn
a bear trap.
this land.
Look over. How are you the only one that got?
Yes.
There are like 4 of us in front of you. How did what?
How do you?
Because there are 4 of you in front of me, I was not looking down.
But I figured it would have hit Jonelle first. I am very confused about
So
the physics of
did
this.
I.
I'm
It's
going to look
okay.
around for anything that might be any other traps in the general vicinity.
Hang on, let me see what the rule is for trying to pry yourself out of a bear trap.
I believe it's an athletics.
Athletic?
Oh, do
I
I
think
need
it's-
to
I
pry
think it's just
Valis out of
athletics
a bear
check.
trap? I can do that too.
I think it's just an athletics check to pry yourself out of a bear trap.
I would
so
assume-
sorry, it's a strength check.
Just a straight strength. Well, that's the same for me as athletics, so. 22.
Yeah, you having none of it, you just pry that rusty bear trap off of your leg.
I would like to look at the
Nope.
rusty bear trap and see if it was set or if it just appeared.
Roll me an investigation.
And I think Connie was looking around
And
for.
Connie, you were looking for the traps?
Yeah.
Roll me perception.
14.
14.
Connie, you spot a couple other traps along the road. And Maria, you also investigate the trap that you're looking at. It looks like it was just very well hidden. It looks like they were hidden by an amount of like grass and some like a very small layer of dirt had been shoveled over them to the point that they just looked like mounds in the road, just like very faintly, not even that visible. But there's a couple of the other ones that Connie notices now that she knows what she's looking for.
Yeah. Are there any that seem to be sprung?
And there's a couple of them that are sprung, yes.
Okay.
Well,
With like small animals or something, or just
Yeah.
nothing?
Like small
Okay.
squirrels or like.
Connie will point to the traps.
Small children.
Well, I can tell you, Valis, that there is not some sort of extra-dimensional being specifically targeting your leg with a bear trap. It was just well hidden.
Who puts bear traps in the middle of the road?
Well, when you could potentially have various nefarious creatures of the dark wandering the roads, I'd imagine that's a pretty common tactic, actually.
Are you saying that vampires should be caught with bear traps?
Not necessarily vampires, but there are zombies, skeletons, other slower-moving things that might not necessarily be able to remove themselves from the trap as easily.
When in life presents struggles, inelegant solutions can still be executed upon in beautiful and creative ways.
Exactly.
So, in case you're wondering about how high this area, the elevation of where you're at right now, the old Svalich Road transitions here from being a winding path through the Balanok Mountains to a lazy trail that hugs the mountainside as it descends into a fog-filled valley. In the heart of the valley, you see a walled town near the shores of a great mountain lake, its waters dark and still. A branch in the road leads west to a promontory, atop which is perched a dilapidated stone windmill, its warped wooden vanes stripped bare.
I believe we have found the windmill we will be coming back to in the morning.
Yes, I agree.
And then looking away. So this is like on a raised hill overlooking the valley.
Yeah, you've been going downhill since you passed through the gate.
I'll point at the walled town. I believe that is Vallaki. I would hope that is Vallaki. If it's not Vallaki, then we are fucked.
I look at our charges. Is that Vallaki?
Yes, I believe that is the town that is spoken of.
It does double time then.
All right. It's well into the night at this point, but I'm only going to need one more roll of a d20 from one of you between now and Vallaki.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
13.
All right. The rest of the trip is thankfully not molested by creatures of the night or any dangerous entities assailing you. But you eventually, as the road continues down, make your way towards the town of Vallaki. The old Svalich road meanders into a valley washed over by dark mountains to the north and south. The woods recede, revealing a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog presses up against this wall as though looking for a way inside, hoping to catch the town aslumber. The dirt road ends at a set of sturdy iron gates with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. Planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are a half-dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them.
I think they could probably do with some tips on decorating.
Well, this does serve as a decent warning.
I'll look back at
What do we know about this place so far? I'm looking at our arena and Judy McDuderson.
Irina is Mark.
Yes.
Well, to be perfectly honest, there's not a lot that's known about Vallaki. It's known to be the most protected place in the valley and one of the few places that seems to be left alone from Count Strahd's influences. No one is exactly certain why. Go ahead and put you guys.
I have a good idea. I say, pointing at the wolf's heads on spikes.
No, I need to shrink you guys down.
Whatever does the trick.
Well, shall we approach?
Yes.
I will lead the way with my best, most charming grin on.
Right, give me 1 second to put you guys back on the.
Let me match my character. Hang on.
Damn it. I really have to at some point between this game and next game. I have to make sure that all of your tokens, when they generate from your character sheet, have sight. That is not the case for everyone.
Yeah.
Apparently, I've wandered off towards the woods. Oh no, I haven't.
And then let me get Arena and Ismark as well. But yes, as you approach, as you approach, you hear a stern voice call out, "Halt! Who goes there?"
Travelers coming from Barovia.
From that blighted town?
Indeed.
What business have you in Vallaki?
Safety and the protection of others from the vile gaze of Count Strahd.
And why should we believe you're not spies from that vampire count?
Because if we were spies from the vampire count, we would not so boldly come up to the door and announce our presence. Instead, we would climb the walls, slit your throats, and kill your family in your sleep.
I would.
Rolling a persuasion check.
I would come up to the front door.
That's a 9.
Is anyone assisting on that one? Actually, I think Valis is assisting on that one. Actually, technically, as weird as it is, I think Valis is offering assistance. So
sure.
Go ahead and roll again.
21.
All right. All right. You come at an inauspicious hour at night, but open the gates. And there's the slow sound of chains being pulled as the gate slowly swings open.
I will motion for our guests to lead the way.
Yeah.
All right, it's Mark and Irina head through the gate. I need to make you guys a little bit smaller.
Now that we're here, have you arranged safe haven and then the town, or?
1 second to scale everybody down while I'm talking at the same time.
Will be giants striding amongst the town.
There you go. Now you're all appropriate size. All right, and you have control of your token, so feel free to move into the town. I believe it should be a matter of speaking with the Burgermeister for potential safety. Either that, or we can just simply start getting a room at the inn.
It is it is getting late into the evening. I assume that a room at the inn would be a wise course of action before anything. Allow us to freshen up from the road and then speak with the Burgermeister in the morning.
Yes, that might be definitely favorable.
Also, it will lend credence to it will lend credence to the supposed protection of this town.
Yeah.
If nothing happens in the night, then we know it is safe.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
I strongly suspect something will happen in this town. It just seems to be the way things are working out.
It does. Looking around, does this town look like it is ravaged on a nightly basis by creatures that claw at the walls?
No, actually, this town looks almost lively in a way. There are lanterns that are lit. None of the buildings are dilapidated. Everything seems to be functional. There is smoke issuing from the chimneys of most of the houses, like there's a warm fire inside. It seems eerily dissonant with the rest of Barovia.
I mean, on the alternative, it is slightly better, atmosphere here. I'll take that as a let's go find an inn.
I distrust.
Jeez.
I distrust crash.
I distrust this situation based on what we've seen already.
Let us go find an inn.
Come here, you.
All right, so the group of you make your way through the town until you reach this particular intersection, where gray smoke issues from the chimney of this large two-story wooden building with a stone foundation and sagging tile roof, upon which several ravens have perched. A painted blue sign hanging above the main entrance depicts a blue waterfall as you reach the Blue Water Inn.
Well, I believe it seems like a quaint and cozy place. I will stride up to the door and open it.
All right, you enter. It definitely seems to be a much livelier place than the inn in Barovia. There's a good handful of townsfolk having a seat inside, having drinks and conversation. As you enter, there is an older-looking middle-aged gentleman cleaning a glass as you enter. He kind of looks up at the group of you. Ah, newcomers to town. Welcome to the Blue Water Inn. My name is Erwin, and I'll be the one you want to see for room and drink.
Well, please, welcome, you unweary travelers with food and drink. I say, approaching the bar.
All right. Well, prices to lay out for you. Room for the night. There'll be an electrum piece. I've got wolf steaks, also an electrum piece. I can get you some beet soup and fresh bread for no extra charge on the price of your room. And I got some wine, purple grape mash, number 3, 3 copper, or a pint of the Red Dragon Crush wine for a silver.
I will look back at our guests. Do the two of you require individual rooms? I say, asking Irina and her brother.
Yeah. I think we can pay for our own rooms. As Ismark fishes out an electrum piece and offers it to Erwin.
Look back at the others and just hold up my hand. Just like going 1, 2, 3, 4. Shrug.
Yes.
All right.
Connie will hold up a 1.
All right. So Connie votes 1. Valis says yes.
1 is fine.
I will put down. I will put down 1 room, please.
All right. You put down an electrum. Do you put out a gold piece or an electrum piece?
I put down 5 silver.
5 silver. So you put down the 5 silver, and he takes the silver. All right. Would you like some soup and bread, or you want some steaks or some wine?
I would love some wine.
You want the grape mash number 3 or the red dragon crush?
Do either of these drinks sound familiar to me at all?
No.
The grape sounds lovely.
All right. That'll be 3 copper.
The soup and bread will suffice.
How much for the bottle?
It's 3 copper for a pint. Double that for the bottle.
I will put down I'll put down 1 silver and a food to the room, please.
Oh, beet soup and bread's on the house with the room. So
How much was the steak? There was a steak as well.
the steak is electrum piece.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll put down 1 silver, and just if we could get the service to the room, please, that would be appreciated.
Certainly. And he takes the silver piece, hands you a bottle of wine, and signals one of the bar matrons to take some broth and bread up to the room.
Yep.
And then hands you a key.
Take the key. Look at the others.
Hands on the key to Ismark, who takes it.
No.
Shall we retire for the night?
All right. It's a simply upholstered room, but it is definitely much livelier than the rooms at the Blood on the Vine Tavern in Barovia. And you can hear the noises of the townsfolk who come here when the sun sets to have a drink and talk away their troubles. And you get a long rest. It is relatively calm and easy.
I offer Connie some of the wine.
Connie will take a small amount.
And I'll offer the
Drink
others
it.
as well.
Jonelle will
Probably
decline.
drinks it like she's been trained to wine tasting, but is not really sure what she's looking for.
How good is this wine?
It's all right. It's not anywhere near the finest of Thayan wines that you've had, but it's definitely a passable wine.
No, thank you.
It is decent. If you want something, it quenches the palate.
Oh, hey, this inn actually has a map.
Hey, inns with maps.
That's a bad sign.
That means there's a rumble.
That means something's going to
I don't mean to be annoying, but we don't have sight.
Yeah, I know. You don't have tokens yet, so.
Oh, okay.
This is
That
a
would
big
explain it.
fucking map. Hang on. How big is this inn?
Well, it's a particularly square map. It might just be a high-res map.
That's fair.
I just not have a select all on all of you. You know.
Connie just bursts through the wall.
Oh,
Okay, who doesn't have sight? Jonelle and Valis don't have sight.
Oh my god, I'm blind.
There we go.
Yeah, if you just copy the tokens that have sites, you can paste them into the new map too.
Yep.
Without having to click and drag until you get it fixed.
Yeah. That. I'll put Ismark and Irina in the next room. Actually, there's 4 of you. You probably get the room with 4 beds.
Ooh, there's a room with 4 beds? Yeah. That's what I'm talking
More
about.
of like a bunk, but you know.
That's fine.
I still can't see anything, but
Hang on. Let me make sure you have sight. You do have sight, so I'm just gonna direct your attention.
there we go.
Haha.
Let's zoom out a little bit.
Damn, this is a big frickin' inn.
Yep.
I mean, I feel
I'm
like that
holding
means-
out hope that there's just a lot of like flavor outside. Because, you know, a lot of maps have, I don't know if bezels is the right word, but it feels appropriate.
They have like exterior landing and
Yeah,
stuff.
like, hey, look, this is a huge text and some ferns that are outside.
I feel like this just means we are absolutely going to be fighting for our lives in this bar or in this inn at some point, probably in the torture room.
Well, then that just means that you get to take the door by the bed by the door.
Valis was planning on that anyway.
We're simpatico. It's great. Anyone who would like a drink, I have the bottle. So drink wine, eat food, go to sleep.
Now, where's the room that Irina and Ismark in?
The room that Arena and Nismark are in is directly adjacent to yours. It's over here. And in fact, let me just get rid of your door since you know what's on the other side of it. Bink. And
Peek out. Peek back in.
and these are windows, so not that you can see much outside of them because that's the edge of the map.
Okay, so it's not necessarily a big map. It's just it's got a lot of doubling on it.
Yeah, no, there's 3 floors. There's
Ah.
the ground floor, the second floor, and the roof.
Yeah,
Why?
that's
is
what
there
I was
the
getting
roof?
at with the lots of outside space, is that you need space between
Yes,
the versions. of
Why,
the
why,
floors.
why is the roof a relevant place?
I don't know. You'll find out at some point, maybe.
We will find out when you go flying off of it.
No, it's a very innovative style of torture room. Hear me out. I'm a realtor. I'm advertising roof-based torture rooms.
Nice open air.
I mean,
It's
I would
open air.
argue that
It's
it is
eco-friendly.
it is a great torture room for vampires. Allow me to chain you up here on the roof.
I mean, it's less of a torture room and more of a murder room at that point.
No, because it's about you do that at right about dawn, before the light starts, and as the sun starts coming in, you make sure that it's hitting their feet first.
And they would absolutely advertise it that way. Unfortunately, there isn't fucking sunlight in this goddamn dimension, so...
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
Yeah. And so, 4 plain beds with straw mattresses line the north wall of this well-lit room. Each bed comes with a matching footlocker to store clothing and other belongings. A table and 4 chairs occupy the corner across from the door. An oil lamp resting on the table casts a bright yellow flame, and this is a comfortable little room for you to have your long rest in.
Yep.
We're taking watch, right?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah.
Why would we not?
That was
Alright.
me asking out of character.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was about to say,
So who's on first watch?
I'll go.
Connie? Alright, who's second watch?
I'll take second.
I'll take third.
Alright. So, I would like each of you, for your watch individually, to roll me a perception check.
Actually, well, not after taking like 4 hours or whatever to meditative trance. Janelle would basically sit outside the door, basically.
So you're also
meditating out there.
So you'd also be on second and third watch.
Second,
basically.
yeah.
You'd be partway through second, you'd wake up from your...
Yeah. And he'd be
13.
All right.
just because I want to
18.
be able to listen in on the other door.
And 10.
Oh boy.
Unnatural 20.
All right. Well, Janelle, you basically have the ear of the other door, and you just hear Irina and Ismark having mild conversation with each other, talking about how this town seems a lot nicer than Barovia, and how she might actually be safe here. You do catch the small tale of conversation of Irina seemingly trying to talk Ismark out of something, and Ismark seems to be bent on the fact that if someone doesn't do something, this curse is never going to end, and he intends to offer his services as a fighter to this adventuring party if they have need of him.
Okay. All right.
First watch is Connie. Connie, not a whole lot happens over the course of the night, but you do notice there's a inordinate number of ravens around this inn. Like, there are some ravens throughout the entirety of the town, but there are just flocks of them, like on the roof, in some of the windowsills. One of them like flaps up to your windowsill and stares you dead in the eye for a minute, and then flaps away.
Could I do like a religion check for the symbolic significance of ravens, if any?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are they like good birds, very druidy birds, bad birds, very vampire-y birds? 21.
Ravens have a number of different meanings. You're not certain exactly what the context is for this particular plane because you haven't been here for very long, but at least at the very least in Faerun, ravens are often considered messengers of fate, whether that fate be death or glory or a grim design. Often the presence of a raven implies import and destined importance. Here, you notice that, and something that you might have picked up from conversations with a few Barovians, is that it seems to be a common folklore that you must never harm a raven. It is not quite certain what the importance of ravens is in Barovia, but you do know that they are fateful birds, not necessarily good or evil, but birds of omen.
All right. So my watch passes uneventfully?
Yeah, but you do know the high number of ravens in the area.
Then when whoever second watch wakes up, Connie will... There is a value to listening to the words of other faiths. The locals say not to harm ravens.
This is a good thing.
Go to sleep.
I got an 18 on mine.
Your watch, similarly, you don't notice a whole lot aside from the fact that, yes, there are dozens of ravens perched along this building.
So just sort of leaning out the window, looking at the ravens. I do want to just sort of study them and see if there's any see if I can tell if there's any sort of unnatural movements to their like if they're being viewed through or something like that.
Go ahead and roll me a insight check.
Yeah. All right. 8.
It's hard to say exactly, but you do notice that there's 2 ravens in particular that
Jeff,
are not
you're
just
crackling that right in your mic.
Oh.
Fine.
But there are 2 ravens in particular that you notice that are not just milling about, that are actively watching people, things in the area, like seem to be observing.
Are they watching us or the room next to us?
You and everything else. They just seem to be almost like keeping watch, almost like you are.
Just sort of leaning out the window, looking at them. And who might you answer to, lovelies? I'm not expecting a reaction, but I'm just musing to myself out loud.
The raven just kind of looks over at you as you say that and just
I am watching you too.
there's a look as the raven looks directly into your eyes, and you get this sense of intelligence behind it.
I just smile and wave.
Note anything else. It flutters away, finds a different perch. It's still within your sight. It knows that you can still see it, but
Yeah. So, aside from that, no hideous undead monstrosities come bursting through the ground, terrorizing the town.
not over the course of your watch.
Yeah. So, at the end of my watch, I'll go wake up Valis.
Mm-hmm.
Valis, darling, it is your turn.
Excellent.
You will be pleased to note that no undead monstrosities have burst through the ground and begun terrorizing the townfolk.
Yeah.
Oh, be wary of the birds, I say, indicating the flock of the ravens that are outside. Apparently, local customs are to not harm the birds at all whatsoever, but they do seem to enjoy watching people. And I will
Very well.
I will pour myself a glass, leave the bottle on the table for Valis, and drink and go to sleep.
All right. You go to sleep, Valis. Once again, not a whole lot happens eventfully, but yes, there are so many ravens.
I have an odd question.
A murder of ravens, you might say.
I know spell as writ probably says no. But after watching the birds for a certain amount of time, could I cast Toll the Dead near one of the birds or near the birds?
You just want to make the ringing noise and not actually try and hurt them?
To get them. It is a warding shot to make them fuck off.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Just make me a wisdom check.
Okay. Eight.
You make this tolling noise, this dong, and most of the ravens kind of flutter away, except for the two that Maria noticed, who just kind of look at you with those coal-like eyes and just kind of take an interested glance at your direction.
We have separated the wheat from the chaff here, then. And I stare back.
One of the ravens calls at you.
If only we had a druid in the party. Speak with animals. Call what, bitch?
Yeah. Yes, and while I do not derelict my watching duties, I keep an eye on these untrustworthy fuckers.
And so you do keep an eye on them. And they don't seem to just be watching you. They don't seem to just be watching Irina and Ismark. They seem to be watching everything that comes and goes around this tavern. They seem to be watching the tavern as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice these two particular ravens continue to flit about, just kind of, sometimes they move outside of your range of view to the other side of the tavern. Sometimes they move back around. They seem to be almost like guards patrolling the tavern.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, he's not going to. He has specifically been told, and he can extrapolate the strong suggestion, do not hurt the birds. So he will not unless they give him reason to, and they have not yet. And otherwise, yeah, he just continues watching.
All right. Well, your watch otherwise passes uneventfully. And so in the morning, the group of you are awakened and are free to do as you wish throughout the day.
Sorry, I'm having a mental image of Valis as played by Tippi Hedren right now. So we wake up, none of us are dead. That's great. I'm gonna go. Oh, we lost
Did we
Mary,
lose someone?
and they're back. I'm gonna go over to the Irina and our brother, whose name I can
Istmark.
Istmark. I don't know why I can't remember that. Irina and Istmark's door, and
It after a moment, it opens up. Istmark is at the door. Good morning.
good morning, darling. I believe it is now time that we should go speak with the Burgermeister about your sister.
Yes.
Yes.
This is definitely. We should figure out where he is, for one.
Well, I'm certain the barkeep would be more than helpful.
I will go ask the barkeep.
Thank you, darling.
I head downstairs. He's gonna go great.
I'll head downstairs with Valis if that's okay.
All right. So,
I offer our guests a drink.
So you head downstairs, and instead of the elderly man with the long beard that was going gray at some periods, you head downstairs and you see a woman, graying hair in some places, but she sits at the bar, sort of treating a older man with hair kind of sweeping back with glasses. Maria, you go downstairs as well. Connie, as Valis and Connie, you step down as well and see her at the bar. Sorry, you
Yeah,
didn't mean to go.
I didn't go downstairs.
Okay.
No,
Just them.
staying up
Cool.
with. Yeah, I'm staying up with two guests.
Yep. Walks right up to the bar. You. Who leads this town?
She kind of looks at you with this interested look as she finishes handing a drink to the elderly gentleman. Huh. Straight to the point, aren't we?
I don't see a reason not to.
Well, the Burgermeister would be Baron Vargas Vlakovic, who lives. Let me make sure I get the correct direction here.
Vargon Vlakovic.
Vargas.
Vargas Vlakovic.
Yes,
Known for his Vlakovic.
Baron Vargas Vlakovic, who lives south of here, west of the town square, in his
I
manor.
see.
Is there anything you'd like to know about town? You seem to be newcomers.
Yes, as a matter of fact. How do you keep the demons out?
Well, that one is a matter of constant vigilance. The guards are ever on the lookout for spies of Strahd and seek to slay them whenever possible. The Burgomaster puts a considerable amount of effort to trying to keep the spirits of the town high in this ever-darkening circumstance.
A bit of a stare. Are you trying to tell me that you keep the demons out by being happy?
I mean, that's certainly what the Burgomaster might tell you, but the force of our guards and a number of other protectors are part of what keeps us separated from the rest of Ravenloft.
They keep the demons out through hard work.
That answer makes more sense.
Also kind of the very that guy answer.
All you have to do is not let them in.
Just work harder.
Just work harder.
I mean, at least that makes more sense than we keep our spirits up and the vampires don't kill us.
I mean, that is what I can't think of their actual name, and I'm not going to say the more colloquial word because it's not an okay word.
The Vistani.
The Vistani.
The and
The
that also
D&D Roma.
Yeah.
that also depends on who you ask. She continues. Vallaki as a town has endured one festival after another every week for the past several years. The Burgomaster seems convinced that keeping spirits high is key to keeping the Devil's Strahd from breaching the town. And some believe that the festivals will keep him at bay, and others don't believe they provide too much protection or benefit whatsoever. Most people seem to consider them dismal as a whole.
With all due respect to the people in your town, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life.
Well, I wouldn't say that out loud within the earshot of the Burgomaster. Those who speak ill of the festivals are declared by him to be in league with the Devil's Strahd and arrested. Some of them end up in the stocks, some of them end at the Burgomaster's mansion, where he declares he will cleanse them of their evil.
Let me rephrase. Or let me amend. What you just told me about keeping spirits up, keeping Strahd out, is now the second dumbest thing I have ever heard in my life.
Connie has been flipping through a book this entire time, clearly paying attention, but just running through pages of it.
Well,
I look back at Connie to see if there's any questions that I have missed, because I've only asked one question and he can't think of anything else to ask because, well, he's single-minded.
Might I inquire where in this town the services of one trained with divinity or simply with a strong hand might find labor for coin?
Well, that depends on who you'd wish to speak to. I imagine. Hang on, give me 1 second, because there's a lot of information that people know that I'm trying to figure out what's relevant.
Sorry, Connie has started this campaign with 0 gold and has not improved from there. So
the character token in Roll20 may have what this character knows as a subheading of their in their character sheet.
That's a good point.
If the character has a name, it's easier to find them.
They do, but unfortunately, they're not in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Because that would be convenient.
If you can search for specific names.
Thank you.
Connie's book is about 70% usually useless phrases about that thing is pretty in very specific terms.
Well, if you're looking for work, you might speak with the wolf hunter. She says, pointing at the two heavily furred individuals on the northern end of the bar. Depending on who your allegiances lie with, you might want to ask the Wachter brothers about their family. They're the ones who seem to be most opposed, or shall we say, at odds on the regular occurrences with the Burgermeister. I imagine that the Burgermeister himself might have work for those of keen mind and able body, but I imagine his next festival likely always needs some kind of a assistance putting it together.
I don't help with stupid things.
That is a lie. You travel with Maria.
Can't say I blame you.
Connie will. And might I also... I have some...
Rom, Bray, and you see her. You see her call across the room to a pair of small boys who are like running around underneath the wolf hunter's legs and the random individuals, and she just kind of calls out to them and like snaps at them. Don't mess with the patrons. And they kind of sigh and put back a gold pouch they had taken from one of the bar patrons.
And might I inquire here about your local law a bit?
Certainly. What would you like to know?
I have heard brief mention of the ravens, but I don't believe I've heard what tale they stem from.
Well, the ravens, they say, are the guardians of this town. They help protect those who understand, and they say they have a connection with Mother Night, who many believe has forsaken this land, but her protectors seem to still have an eye here, and the ravens are perhaps one of the keenest enemies of Strahd.
Sorry, say that part again. It was they. What about them in Strahd?
They are perhaps one of the keenest enemies of Strahd.
The birds.
Indeed.
The birds protect the town.
Excuse me. And he turns and he walks back upstairs so he can look out the window where the ravens are. I apologize.
I look over at Valis as he walks past. Who are you apologizing to?
The ravens.
You're apologizing to the birds.
What for?
I tried
Connie
to
will.
see them away last night.
Thank you for your time and your hospitality.
Well, good luck in this town, after all. If the festivals don't bore you out of your wits, the Burgermaster's ranting will.
Meanwhile, upstairs, so the Burgermeister is apparently an imbecile.
Okay.
But to mention such things apparently will get us arrested and thrown in captivity.
Then I would recommend not mentioning
Good
such
to
things.
know.
He is apparently of the belief that throwing weekly festivals of happiness keep Strahd out.
It worked for the Vistani.
Is that what they do?
The line was
You
that
looked confused for a moment.
the line was the explanation was that it was their zest for life and their love of festivities and dancing and partying that made Strahd turn a kindly eye to them.
I simply remember them saying every now and then he asks us to do something, we do it, and that's why that's why he doesn't hate us.
That's because you tune out. That's because you tune out from the important parts. This is why I have to repeat my stories to you all the time.
I feel like the Vistani acting as the agents of the evil vampire lord was the important part.
You focus on the what, I'll focus on the why.
Connie will come back in at this point.
And at this point, by the way, as dawn is approaching, most of the commoners seem to be making their way out of the town. The patrons all seem to be heading out.
Did the two of you successfully find the location of the Burgermeister's house?
So,
Nod.
Look over at Irina and brother. Well then, shall we? Indicating the exit. I was asking the
Oh yeah, sorry.
you guys if they want to go.
Yes, we should make our way to the Burgermeisters.
Looking at Valis and Connie. Lead on, my friends.
Connie will lead on.
All right, I can get you guys back down to the ground floor of the tavern, and you come back.
And back to town. Hit the fast travel button. Wait 3 seconds.
All right.
Realize that the fast travel button is probably the slower way to teleport from places that are actively in the same town.
All right, so you emerge from the Blue Water Inn, and you have been told that south, somewhere west of the town square, is the location of the Burgomaster's mansion.
Oh. So I'm assuming we head here?
Yeah, that's the very large house right there.
The very large house that is
that-
in the described direction.
Yep.
That's in a different color than everything else.
Is it the blue one or the one with smoke coming out of it?
It's the blue one,
Okay, it's the blue one.
the big blue one.
Yep.
Not that you could particularly tell, but the this particular thing label is floating over the blue one.
on the way there, I will do my best not to say anything that may compromise the situation.
I appreciate it.
As much as we might want to.
Let us uphold our promise to protect those we have promised to protect.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Alright, so, this mansion has walls of plastered stone that display many scars where the plaster has fallen away from age and neglect. Drapes cover every window, including a large arched opening above the mansion's double entrance doors.
Give me a second. As we're headed in, Connie is going to cast and start concentrating on detect good and evil.
Alright. God, okay. That makes me have to check and make sure there isn't anything.
Aberration,
particular.
celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead.
1 second. I need to be 100% certain here.
That's fine.
It's also within 30 feet, so it's not like the whole
Yeah.
town.
Yeah, it
I'm
doesn't
sorry,
seem to be
I
right
made
now.
things complicated.
No, it's fine. I just had to check and make sure there wasn't anything immediately present that I wasn't going to be lying to you about if I said there wasn't.
The Burgermeister's a vampire!
Yeah, no. All right.
Blood-sucking fiend from beyond the grave.
Okay, so yeah, no, so you knock on the door, and a short while later there is the door kind of slowly creaks open, and a woman in a maid's outfit kind of leans out the door. Yes, more visitors.
Yes, we are here to speak with the Burgermeister regarding the children of the Burgermeister Barovia who have come seeking refuge from the evils outside. I say, indicating the children who are adults.
Former Burgermeister of
Yes, the former Burgermeister
Barovia.
of Barovia.
All right. Please let me show you into the den, and I will go fetch the Burgermeister.
Thank you.
And William, I'm sorry to potentially make you check another thing, but out of curiosity, does Irina show up on my Detect Good and Evil?
No.
Okay.
Let me get you to the. Oh, it was the Red House. Okay, based on the grounds. The den is.
Can't
Okay.
see
Yes. Okay.
shit.
Hang on.
We've been blinded by the light.
Blinded by the light, revved up like a deuce, and another runner in the night. Blinded by the light.
You can stop now.
For the record, that lyric is deuce, not
Yes.
douche. Like 99%
It's-
of people think it is.
Revved up like a deuce, which is an
Deuce.
engine, a car
Yes.
specifically. Another runner in the night, not revved
Yes.
up like a douche and runner over in the night.
Yes. For God's sakes, people, learn your lyrics.
That is one of the more common misreadings of those lyrics, though. Like everyone hears that, which is
So-
more of an
Well,
indication of the singer than anything
Like,
else.
here's my comment. 80-some% of the time, when you think the song lyrics are more fucked up than they have any right to be, they are more fucked. They are that fucked up.
But
Like-
anyway, you enter the entrance hall. Framed portraits adorn the walls of this grand foyer, which features a wide staircase with a sculpted railing. A long, carpeted hall attached to the foyer stretches almost the length of the mansion and has several doors leading away from it, including one at the end. Bundles of twigs are heaped against the walls.
That seems like a fire hazard.
It seems as if our good Burgermeister has a kindling collection.
Yes, let me go fetch the Burgermeister now. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
And the maid disappears.
I sort of like nudge one of the piles of sticks with a foot.
Does it try and bite?
Yeah.
No, it's just a pile of twigs.
That would be a weird kind of mimic.
I mean, I'm just saying, this group has played Lost Mine of Phandelver before. We know what twig blights are.
Yeah. It's a house full of twig blights.
Worst Burgermeister ever.
All right, so a few moments after, like a few minutes after the maid leaves, there is the sound of padding footsteps, several of them, coming down the stairs as the Burgermeister enters the room, accompanied by a pair of large mastiffs that always seem to be following at his heels, just kind of like bounding behind him as he approaches. Ah, Greetings, he says to the group as he approaches. He is a somewhat bedraggled-looking man of pale skin with white hair that is receding at several points and seems almost wild and bursting out at tufts in certain places. He wears a long, very elegant red robe, and these two mastiffs kind of follow behind him dutifully as he kind of approaches and waves a hand to the group of you. Greetings! Welcome to Vallaki. All will be well. I am the Burgermeister, Baron Vargas Valakovich. How can I assist you? I've heard we have newcomers.
Yes, a pleasure to meet you, Baron Valakovich. I am Maria de Nazul. With me are my accompaniment, Valis, Jonelle, and Connie Rose. Also, we have the children of the late Burgermeister of Barovia, Irina and last name.
Yeah.
Who have come seeking
And her
refuge. Irina is her name, then his name, then their last name.
Irina and Irina's brother.
They have come seeking refuge in Vallaki after the death of their father, and we're hoping to speak with you regarding that.
Ah, well, it is indeed unfortunate that such terrible ills have befallen those outside of the blessed town of Vallaki. But no worries, all will be well, he says, repeating that line again. And he kind of looks over at Irina and Ismark. The two of you wish to stay within the town, yes?
I would like to insight check the fuck out of this guy.
No.
I also would like
Yeah.
to insight check the
Yeah.
fuck out of this guy.
You can certainly roll me insight.
14. I just want to get his general, like,
24.
if this sort of manic demeanor is his normal state, or if something has put him this way.
He's
it
suffering up
definitely-
from something.
It definitely seems like this is the way that he kind of is around people. Jonelle, you get the sense that this man's ego is very brittle. Like, if anything were to challenge his view that everything's gonna be all right, we can make everything work, you suspect he might not react well.
He's the guy sitting in the corner going, everything is fine, 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 everything is fine.
To the point that he seems to have convinced himself of this fact.
Yeah.
Wait, so he's Lavis?
To a degree.
On that wonderful note, Valis looks at the man
Oh, this is gonna be great.
No.
and puts on the best smile he can to pretend like everything is okay for the moment, and not look like he considers this person to be the least useful living person he's ever met.
I imagine this is just like a smile that's all teeth and just...
That's not bad.
It's convincing enough.
It's just the haunted one sadness in your eyes.
Right.
Um,
I mean, less sadness and rather complete lack of warmth or empathy, but either way.
all right, so yes, if the two of you wish to stay within the town, we can certainly arrange rooms at the inn for the time being until we can find suitable accommodations for the two of you. As he kind of looks at Ismark and Arena. Well, it should be perfectly simple to arrange after the Festival of the Blazing Sun.
Well, I am certain
Yeah.
the two of you will find a lovely time here. I say, sort of moving over to Irene and doing the patting on the shoulder, lean in, hug thing.
Ismark actually, after giving each of you a handshake, is actually, if you would require insight and someone who perhaps knows this land a little better and is proficient with a sword arm, I would like to see this monstrosity dealt with. Perhaps if you require assistance, I could be of aid to you in dealing with the Devil Strahd.
I just, without saying anything, turned to look at the other three.
Can I size him up? How, like, I am trained with a sword. Mostly I just bash things with it, but I have formal training. Can I, like, get any sense of...
Roll me an insight check.
Okay. 17?
17. He is definitely not a novice. He is definitely a proficient swordsman. You suspect, out of game, he's offering to be your hireling.
Yeah, I want to get a sense of if he's a hireling with the stats of, like, a soldier or the hireling with the stats of a villager with a sword.
As a hireling, you get the sense, and this is, like, translate this into your own personal information however you wish. He is definitely not that bad. He's actually, for one, he has multi-attack. He can make 2 swings with his sword. So he's definitely got the stats of, like,
here's the thing.
sword.
Villagers have a +0 to attack and, like, die with 1 hit. So Connie would feel bad if he was that level. But if
he's definitely a proficient mercenary at level of hireling.
Connie will give a shrug. She seems fine with it.
Are you sure you don't want to watch over your sister?
If the town is as well protected as it claims, then I suspect that my sister... He looks over her shoulder at Arena. She's skilled and talented in her own right. I suspect with the aid of the protectors of this town, she should be more than capable of taking care of herself. Is that not right, Arena? And Arena kind of looks at him and nods. Yes, I would feel more comfortable if I knew that this was being seen to with as many hands as possible.
I would like to insight check her.
Certainly.
How does she actually feel about this? With a 5, I believe, whatever she just said.
I would like to do another insight check on this idiot Vargas to see how he is reacting to the idea of, so we're going to go kill the vampire.
All right, go ahead.
11.
It's not hard to see. He seems ecstatic at the idea of someone, all right, less dangers. That means my town is even more safe and my people will be even more happy.
Well, a local that knows his way around would certainly be useful. I say now, still looking at the rest of the party, just sort of seeing, like, so Connie's okay with it. A local that knows the lay of the land would certainly be useful, but it will not be an easy task that we face. There will be danger in very high numbers.
Indeed. And should you not want me, I will stay with my sister, but if you think that my hand would be useful, I will journey with you.
Connie will.
Indeed.
I, for one, would greatly welcome your conviction and her assistance. However, scrolls down to a version of the statement. We do not have enough coin to offer you, I'm afraid.
Coin is of no object. I would gladly join you to see this quest done and see this evil banished from this land.
So what you're saying is you don't want any of the spoils?
Well, just enough to keep myself going.
Fair enough. Well, if there's no objections from my party, then certainly.
No.
Is that a no for no objections or no for you don't want him?
That was a no to no objections, because
Okay.
you said if there were no objections,
I just wanted to be
and
clear.
I said no.
I just wanted to be clear. Yes, then your assistance will be most helpful, and we appreciate it.
Companion acquired. Da-na-na-na.
Achievement unlocked.
Achievement unlocked.
I should-
He's so dead.
I should I should do that. I should like figure out a way to like make like an achievement unlock pop up like at the bottom of the overlay. Just hit a button and it goes ping.
Oh my god, I want that for Star Wars now.
That would be
Oh,
so
man.
abusable. But I should. I'll see if I can figure out how to do that. Anyways, sorry. My bad ideas aside.
Unrelated. At the very least, for like one shots.
And so he after that conversation, the Baron kind of speaks up, and yes, if you're going to be staying in Vallaki for a time, please. The Festival of the Blazing Sun is in 3 days. I invite you all to come and see it at its completion.
I will certainly be most interested in experiencing one of Valaki's legendary festivals.
He definitely seems to appreciate that sentiment. Yes,
Well,
after all.
sorry, I will let him finish his sentence.
He said, yes, after all, in a place without the sun, we must make our own. And he seems to laugh at his own joke.
Indeed. I'm doing the noble thing of laughing at a stupid joke.
roll me a persuasion check.
I get an advantage.
Connie will assist with that. It is always good to practice the face.
19.
19, all right. And he definitely seems to like you at the very least, Maria. He seems to find someone that he appreciates, someone who is willing to entertain his delusions. So he kind of looks at you and nods. Yes, if you all are returned by the time of the Festival of the Blazing Sun, I would have you as special guests for the event.
Sorry.
Certainly. I would love to. Gonna put Valis up on that pedestal.
I feel the presence of such masterful and skilled adventurers as yourself would show in the town that indeed all will be well.
Of course. In the meantime, as a curiosity, do you happen to know of any work that needs to be done? Something that perhaps villagers are willing to provide coin or other sort of rewards for?
Actually, I do have a small task of my own. My captain of the guard, my personal man, I suppose you could say, Izek Strasny, has been assigned on a task recently that has not been getting him any avail. And if the group of you believe that you could solve it, it would be most appreciated, and I would be very grateful.
Certainly. What sort of
two
task
mem-
is this?
2 of the household staff have gone missing in the past weeks. My butler and my wife's lady-in-waiting have both disappeared within the previous week. Izek has been arranging searches to attempt to find them, but there's been no avail. If the group of you could perhaps locate them and return them, I would be willing to submit a sum of gold for their return.
I look at the rest.
Shrug.
Also kind of a slightly smaller shrug.
Turn back. Of course, we would be absolutely thrilled to assist.
Very well. And I'm sure there are other members of the town that would have their own tasks that would need doing. After all, everyone gets very busy in the approaching of a festival.
Certainly. Let us go and see. Where might we find this Isaac Strasny?
Izek, actually, I believe he's still here. I believe he recently came to deliver a report. He kind of claps his hands together and a servant approaches. Please, if you could locate Izek for me and bring him down here. And then the servant kind of leaves and heads up the stairs. And a few moments later, there is the sound of heavy footsteps as a large and imposing individual comes down the stairs. At this point, Irina and Gerg, Irina and Ismark have kind of bid the group of you farewell to go and set up rooms at the inn for a more permanent basis. So they're actually just leaving as this individual is heading down the stairs.
Okay.
And you see a large and imposing individual with sort of furs and leathers coming down the stairs.
Is he a Goliath?
No, he's a human. He's just very large. As he walks down, and he's got a strange... Let me see if I can find his appendix in the book, because the portrait isn't quite appropriate. Like, the token isn't quite appropriate for showing his appearance. If I can find Ezek. There he is. He... Very tall and covered in leathers. His right arm, as he approaches, is covered. It is the only part of his body that is not covered, because it is a massive scarred affair with large crooked talons that are on it. It almost looks like he has grafted the arm of a fiend to his own, except there's no seam. It's just almost like a mutation to his right arm, as it is clawed and taloned and discolored.
Is Connie's detect good and evil going off?
I was gonna say, this is the point where I actually do not have that one prepared. I'm sorry, I have protection from evil and good, not detect.
He himself is not a fiend, so you get like the faintest tick just from his arm, but it's not enough to actually register as if the spell mechanically was saying there's a fiend over there.
Oh, yeah, no, okay, I rolled the right thing.
Well, this is quite an impressive specimen
I
of a
am
guard
not
captain.
prepared to murder this man. With a 15 on my deception roll.
All right. So, he kind of looks at the group of you. You called?
Yes, Lurch, we did. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, John had to mute because Baby started shouting.
Yeah,
otherwise,
I know.
he's probably starting the conversation.
I know.
Yes.
That's why I was making a joke to fill the dead space.
Yes. We have been told, I say, indicating the Baron, that apparently the butler and lady in waiting of the house have gone missing, and we're willing to offer our services as a professional problem solvers to assist with this task and recover these people before they have, how do you say, met a terrible time.
He kind of looks at the group of you with that same dour, almost pitiless expression as he looks at the group of you. Yes, I have been searching and not found anything.
Insight check.
I have found my arch enemy.
10.
Yeah,
Seems
I will
honest.
also be inciting the fuck out of this
Oh,
guy.
We have found Negavalis.
Yes.
I kind of always pictured Negavalis.
Natural
to be this
20. I guess
cheery
seeing
person.
things about this guy's arm makes me really insightful,
No, that-
particularly about him.
That would be anti-Valis. Negavalis is the more negative version of Valis. Anti-Valis would be the cheery one.
So this person seems wrong. You don't get the sense that he's lying, but he just seems not right. It's not just the arm, just everything about him seems incorrect.
He's a xenograft blood hunter.
No. I mean, this was what a fantasy version of them would look like, I'll be honest.
And do you have any leads or clues?
I do not.
Do you have a description of the missing people?
Hang on, I need to see this, guys.
It's like they just sort of and
I mean, his wisdom is 9, his intelligence is 10. A butler and a lady in waiting.
all right. Do you know where last they were seen?
At the manor, roughly a week ago.
Okay.
And what
Do
makes you
you
think they just
have
didn't
you-
run off on a little tryst?
A week-long tryst is something I have heard of before. It's very challenging, though.
Those generally only work if there is somewhere pleasant to go to for vacation, and there is nowhere pleasant in this land that we have seen yet.
Aside from this lovely village, of course.
Indeed not. This is the most pleasant place in all of Ravenloft. The Baron kind of speaks up.
Yes. Who might we speak to? Was there anyone else on this staff that were particularly close to them?
Is there anybody who could provide any sort of description of these people?
Izak kind of looks at the group of you. I am far more proficient at the punishment of criminals than the seeking of the lost.
I can tell.
Am not aware.
You have been most helpful. Thank
Have
you very
you-
much.
Have you? God damn it! Now I'm trying to mimic your voice.
The two dour, droll motherfuckers talking to each other.
Have you asked anyone?
I have arranged searches, but no information has come to light. I'm like,
Not a fan of due process, this guy.
Look at the Burgermaster and go, would you mind us talking to your staff?
Certainly. Just try and avoid the upper levels. I'll have the staff meet with you if you have any questions for them. I don't think I've asked them myself.
Why?
And I haven't. Well, the upper levels are private rooms for myself and my lady, and all of our private business is conducted that way. But I have asked the servants myself, and none of them seem to know anything. If you believe that you can get more information out of them, feel free.
Can you describe these individuals in any remotely competent way?
Ah, yes. Well, my butler is an elderly gentleman, intelligent and keen, but perhaps a little bit clumsy at times, but no fault of his own. The lady in waiting is the dearest maid to my wife, and, well, she is rather common in appearance, but is loyal and perfectly capable of performing all of her tasks for my lady.
Let me rephrase, perhaps. Are they both human?
Yes.
What color is their hair?
I believe.
I
my
suppose
butler-
I suppose I should have emphasized the in any competent way. My apologies.
God. We're gonna get so fucking executed, you guys.
I'm sorry, charisma of 8, y'all.
I'm doing my best to make friends with the guy that has the authoritarian rule over the town.
This is why I suggest let's just talk to the staff.
It's like, oh, he's elderly and clumsy, but he's pretty smart. And she's fairly common, but loyal. Human?
No, I'm
yes.
super
Hair
down for
color.
getting executed and murdering all of these people.
It's like hair color, eye color, skin tone.
They're both. I believe. I believe my butler started to go grey in the hair, but the lady is dark of hair.
Eye color?
Basic physical description.
Yeah,
you get.
yeah. So I'm basically gonna work out a basic physical
Yeah,
description.
you get basic description.
Okay.
Okay.
Probably in that manner of like answer question, answer question, answer question.
Height, build.
Thank you. Yes, we would like to speak with the staff before departing, but after that, we will do our best to locate your missing staff.
I look over at. I'm sorry. What's Lefty's name again?
His name is he's Isaac Strasny.
Yeah, sorry. No, that was me asking you.
Oh, sorry, you were asking me. Yeah, his name is Isaac.
Okay. Valis would not have called him Lefty. Hello. So, Valis looks over at Isaac and is like, that is how you investigate. You ask questions until you get the answers you need.
He kind of scowls at you. I will keep that in mind.
I am sure you do a very good job as captain of the guard. We appreciate your work, and we will not keep you from it any further. I say to us, sort of giving a respectful nod of the head, an indication that he can go about his business.
He turns and just kind of lumbers back up the stairs, just kind of heavy footsteps.
And thank you very much for your assistance, Baron Valkovich. We will, if you do not mind, we will move about the house and speak with the servants on our own.
As you wish. As I say, just the second floor is private quarters for myself,
Of course.
and my companions and family. So, you know.
Of course. Have a good day.
And he kind of nods and heads back up the stairs, the two mastiffs kind of trailing behind him.
Please rate us 5 stars on Uber. So, once he's gone,
We are way not legit enough for Uber. We're like the indie third-party alternative to Lyft.
pick up.
No.
We're pick up.
We are the people who claim that they are Lyft and have managed to hack into Lyft servers so we can show up at places and get paid to take people places without actually having to go through any of the work of Lyft.
Well, the work of Lyft is submitting a background check, so you know that.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
A lot of work.
Once they're gone, and yeah, I do believe I will be killing that man at some point.
Please at least don't do it while we're trying not to get executed in town.
You do realize that this leader is an imbecile and will lead this town into ruin.
I'm certain he is, but so long as he has the authority to arrest us, throw us in jail, and execute us, we are going to make nice. And if that means sitting around and smiling and enjoying the festivities and having a fucking glass of wine and some meats, then that is what we will do.
GM, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
The specifics of this guy, as we heard them from the barkeep, was essentially like he executes some people and the other people he converts, kind of.
Was
So
it
what you
I
had?
thought it was a prison because that conversation would have gone very.
Yeah, no. What
sorry.
you had gathered was that people who talk ill of the festivals end up arrested. Some of them get put in the stocks, and some of them end up getting taken to his mansion where he declares that he will cleanse them of their evil.
Which Maria has taken to mean murder.
That's very possible. Luckily for you all, Valis has not considered that possibility yet. Mostly because he was stuck on the he arrests people who aren't happy enough at the festival.
Yeah.
Literally,
Connie
criminal,
has taken this
criminal
to mean that he
unhappiness
feeds them to the
is
pet
what we
demons
heard.
in his basement. That's what
This
I.
is mandatory.
That's where my
Finger
misunderstanding
masters.
of what we heard came from.
Yes. So, we will play nice, and we will try to find his lost pets or whatever. Butler.
Until there is reason not to play nice.
Yes, until there is reason not to play nice. However,
To
regardless,
find out his
regardless of how the town keeps itself safe, the town keeps itself safe until we can determine that it is not the festivals and it is not whatever this crazy man is doing. We cannot take the chance of killing everyone else in the town just to satisfy your desires.
Do you
Seems
really
like-
think it's festivals and happiness?
Connie's gonna
It's-
go to find and start interrogating.
Seems like this
Good
town is
choice.
safe despite
Until-
the Burger
No, it's
Master.
not a good choice. She can barely communicate.
Until it has been proven otherwise,
Yeah,
we will
but
assume.
Valis and those two are arguing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Until it has been proven otherwise, we will assume it is part of the solution. Now,
You will assume.
let us
I think
talk to Guess.
it's despite his efforts, the town has been safe.
And then I'll turn and follow Connie.
And I will not even because we'll just shortcut it because you're going to be asking all of the servants and there's a good number of them. So go ahead, roll me. Everyone can roll me. Two of you can roll me investigation checks with advantage using the other one as help.
I will roll that.
Let me see. How is my investigation? I will also roll that. I'm
But
proficient.
Sure. I'll let someone else do that.
yeah, go ahead.
15.
13.
So it seems like. So the one consistent thing is nobody knows where they went or what happened to them. They just went missing a week ago and have not been seen since.
Can I get a general insight to see if these people are potentially covering for some, like, no,
Yeah.
we
Yeah, go ahead
don't
and
know
roll insight.
where they are, people who work for our insane boss?
Assuming that we're all insight checking, can we
Okay.
also do that with the two people roll
Yeah.
at advantage?
I don't.
You don't need to.
I don't need to.
Never mind.
No,
Valis
these people
knows.
legitimately they don't know where the butler and the lady in waiting went. They vanished, as far as they can tell.
And they vanish from the manor.
Yeah, from the manor. Like the last place they were seen was in the manor, and nobody knows where they went.
Okay. Did
Valis is assuming they became Isaac snacks, but
did did they have any friends, acquaintances, family in the town that also might?
From what you gathered, this was pretty much their family. Like the
Okay.
staff of the manor. This is where they lived. This was where they worked. Like
Okay.
While we're talking to servants and things, I would also like to look around and see if we can find any sort of trap doors in the floor or potentially secret entrances or exits.
and
Since
are you
they
taking to the
disappear-
first floor?
Yeah, for now. Since
go ahead and
since
roll
they
me
apparently
investigation.
disappeared from inside the mansion,
Roll
I'm
perception.
assuming there might be a hidden passageway inside the mansion.
Go ahead and roll me perception.
All right.
I will go ahead and check for all.
Is
of
there
them.
much in the way of grounds?
Yeah, there are some grounds behind. There's a servant's house behind the manor.
As long as it's not communicated to me that that's as off limits as the upstairs is.
No.
Connie's gonna sort of investigate out there, see if anything unusual, a break in the I don't know if they have a fence, if they have some hedges, something like that.
There's a garden out back, and that's about it as far as before the servants' quarters.
Burn marks, acid marks, something that
For
you
the-
wouldn't expect to find, that sort of thing.
For the service quarters, will they let us look at their living space? Their
I
blind?
mean, they don't care too much. It's basically a barracks. There's not a whole
Yeah.
lot. there in terms of upholstery or like there's just like beds and wardrobes for clothing and
Yeah,
outfits and such.
Just look. I would like to look through their belongings to see if there's any indication of something that ties them together or that might indicate of if they left on their own.
You don't see anything out of place with their outfits. Most of their stuff seems to be left as it was.
So they didn't pack. Basically, is what I'm looking.
Yeah.
Valos,
Yes.
do you have experience finding?
Oh no, sorry. Sorry, service floor is one of the rooms in the building. Sorry, there's not a separate building. It's actually one of the rooms, which is on the first floor. And you check it. Yeah, there's 4 beds.
Do you have any experience or expertise in finding hidden passageways or trap floors?
I am not inexperienced in that. It is not a specialty.
I am looking. I'm not finding anything myself, but I suspect that if they vanished from inside the house, then there must have been a way for them to vanish from inside the house. If you catch my drift.
Is there a cellar?
So.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't see any. Yeah, you definitely have not seen any trapdoors in your searching with the 4 perception.
No, I haven't seen shit. That's why I was asking Valis. Yeah, that's actually like Jeff asked. Is there a cellar?
There does not appear to be.
No.
It's kind of a long shot, but Connie's just gonna listen up, see if she hears like the sounds of people being tortured or anything.
Just on the
For
off
probable
chance.
cause.
On the off chance.
I mean, I don't think it's likely we'd hear them. Can I make a roll for that, or?
So you don't need to. There's no sounds of torture, but one thing that after a short amount of time, your investigation does come to is this room in particular. As I get back on the object layer, this room in particular, as you approach it and start to investigate that one.
GM, can I request that you remove the dynamic lighting or what of the dynamic lighting you can from this map? Because I don't know where you pinged.
Yeah, 1 second.
It was the first room on the left, right down the hallway.
So
on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this room's here. As you start looking through rooms, basically, you hear the sound of conversation on the other side of it, basically. And as you open it up to look inside, a chandelier of wrought iron fitted with wax candles hangs above a polished wooden dining table. Around the table are seated 8 women of various ages in comfortable high-backed chairs. They wear faded clothes, drink tea, and devour cake, while a 9th woman, well-dressed and very pleased with herself, circles the table and talks excitedly about decorations for the impending festival. And so you see basically just this group of 8 women sitting around, like, stitching small decorations together for presumably whatever this festival that the Baron was talking about, while presumably the Baron's wife is wandering around overseeing.
1, insight check. Are these people willing to be here? 2, are the decorations well made?
Sure. Go ahead. Roll me insight.
These things that matter equally to Soon. 6.
It's hard to tell. They're mostly just focused on their work, but they're not restrained. They're not the lady doesn't seem to be berating them. They all seem to just be kind of working. It seems like they're being paid off with food and drink, basically, to make these decorations for the festival.
I just sort of I sort of lean over and go, no, 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 no.
Wait, no, they're relatively well made,
No, that's not it.
considering the hands of commoner.
Oh, no, 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 no. I hated sewing circles. Those are the worst.
Um, as you look in the door, the lady kind of turns and spots you. Ah, you must be guests of my husband. Can I help you?
We are indeed guests. We have been speaking with the serving staff. The Baron has requested we assist the captain of the guard in the search for the missing butler and lady in waiting.
Ah, yes. Dreadful business. I haven't seen them in a week. I'm afraid I wouldn't know anything about their whereabouts, though. I've been too busy preparing for the festival.
Indeed.
Can I assume that I am nearly done with my time on the spell at this point. But can I get like does she seem bewitched or anything?
Not really. She just
Okay.
seems almost as manic as her husband.
All right.
Well, this has certainly been lovely. I believe if we're going to find out any more information, it will not be necessarily in this house.
Are you saying we can leave?
Unless anyone else has anything else they'd like to look into. Yes.
Good. He turns and starts striding for the door.
Yeah. Tragically, head that way.
I'll follow after.
Yeah, follow along.
All right.
Stopping at the door, I do actually turn back around really quick.
Okay.
Walk back towards that room. Pardon me, lady of the house. I do have one quick question.
Yes.
In what direction in the town would your church be? We are new in town.
Yes. As I look myself. Town of Valaki.
I'm assuming it's this place with a graveyard on the far west side of town.
Probably, but let me confirm.
Yeah. Because if anyone knows what's keeping the undead out, the
And
church
one.
might.
Yes. Yes. St. Andrew's Church is on the western end of town.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely time putting together your decorations. I look forward to attending the festival.
Yes, it should be a wonderful event.
Valis is already gone.
Does she seem excited by that, or was that a more tense? It'll be a wonderful event.
Roll me an insight.
It's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. My husband
18.
is not insane and stupid.
She almost does it out of habit. It seems like agreeing with her husband has almost become a nervous tick.
Because she doesn't want to be arrested.
Of course.
No, I'm just
Or-
thinking of hot fuzz.
Cleansed.
Or become an Isaac snack.
And I leave.
I'm
Catching up with
thinking
everybody
of
else
hot
outside.
fuzz and just going.
I love that Isaac Snack is your
He has a
me a
demon arm.
second.
I guarantee he's eating people.
Nope, Connie's impulse control fails her.
Uh-oh. And you thought Valis was the one that was going to get y'all arrested.
Hey, Valis has a decent wisdom. Wisdom is the survival stat. Yeah, she's just gonna.
The impulse control is not there. What's going to happen?
Oh no.
Gonna try and stealth up the stairs.
Roll me a stealth check. I pull back.
6.
Do we notice that?
Yes, you all
No,
noticed
no,
that.
I just,
Oh, crap.
as I'm walking past, if I can, before Connie gets all the way up the stairs, I'm just gonna like reach out and like grab the back of her robe and just pull as I keep walking towards the front door.
You have noodly arms, ma'am.
I know. I'm not gonna be able to pull her. I'm hoping the tug will be like.
Make me a strength check just to see if Connie notices you.
Yeah,
'cause
that's-
Connie's trying to do the tiptoes thing.
That's a 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say with the 1, Connie takes a second to notice that she has dragged Maria a few inches
like just
before.
being dragged by my heels.
Yeah, you probably notice that there's an extra weight on your cape, and you turn and you realize that you've been walking and carrying Maria with you.
There's like
Yeah.
there's like divots in the floor where my heels were.
Connie will frown and head out the door.
Curiosity. Well, we will fill that curiosity later. I promise. So,
So as you're exiting the Burgermeister's mansion, Ismark is heading back in your direction, having apparently left Irina at the inn. So, where's our next goal?
I did find someplace we may wish to go and communicate with the locals to get more of an idea as to how this town is protected. The church is in the western side of town.
Didn't you hear? It's because of the happiness.
It might be. It might also be because this
It
town
is
is on blessed
not
ground.
because of the happiness.
Happiness.
We cannot rule out anything until we have proof.
I am ruling out
There was
happiness.
You can rule it out. Yes, Connie?
mention.
Wow.
Wow, that
Oh,
was. Someone drove a race car past somebody's house.
No, it's
Those-
a douchebag next door with a motorcycle.
Those damn Horton Curse racers outside the Burgermeisters.
I feel like that's like a thaumaturgy thing. People
probably is.
amping up their motorcycle volume.
You say-
There was another group who mentioned in the defense of the town who also may have work they need done.
who is that?
The birds.
The wolf pack, something like that.
There were the wolf hunters, and there were the there's the other noble family of the town, which is Blurg.
Which is Blurg. I
Blurg.
want them to be
The
that.
Blurg family, yes.
The Von Blurgs.
The well-known
the
Blurg.
Wachter family.
Is it Wachter or Wachter?
Technically, it would be Wachter, yes. It would be Wachter. Because it's a W.
Thank you for this information. So my proposal, to satisfy our curiosity and determine exactly what it is that keeps this town safe, we should speak with all of these groups, the wolf hunters, the Wachter, and the church, if we cannot put together the mystery of Alaki.
I agree.
And if we decide that our quest against Strahd becomes the more pressing matter, what shall be our first aim?
Oh, there's a windmill we passed that has a bitch inside it to kill.
Yes, I think the hag will be on our top priorities here.
All right. So
Yes. Once we've satisfied our curiosity, that hag, she needs to die.
the old windmill, and seeing what we can learn about this town.
Yes.
All right. Where would you like to start?
I look at the rest. What do you think, my companions?
Do we wish to?
Let's start with the temple.
The wolf
I would say.
hunters.
I was going to say yes. Start with the local church.
So we have 2 votes for the church, 1 for the wolf hunters. I feel like the church will at the very least be the easiest place to ask the questions, so I'm thinking church then wolf hunters. What do you think? The wolf hunters might be a little
That's
bit
fine.
more cautious dealing.
I
No.
mean,
Also, theoretically, they might be out hunting wolves in the daytime. They might only be back here by night.
But we'll find out.
at the very least, this church will be in the top 2 churches of Barovia that we have visited thus far.
I'm willing to bet for you it will be number 1.
My concern is that it won't
You know,
be.
Head to the church.
All right, so you all make your way to the church.
Because
surprising enough, it's number 3.
that would be deeply concerning because it's a really low bar for number 1.
Turns out that you consider Madame Ava's camp to be a better church than this one.
Jesus Christ.
So I was gonna go about it a different way. We retcon that we went to another church, but that church wiped our memories of going there. But was still a better experience than this church.
I mean, all this church needs is to at least not be the worst church we've gone to in this town, is to not be harboring and protecting an undead parasite.
I mean, you can go back and kill if you want to.
Oh, believe me,
That's a long way out of our way.
But
that is on the docket.
It's on the menu.
So, this slouching centuries-old stone church has a bulging steeple in the back and walls lined with cracked, stained glass windows depicting pious saints. A fence of wrought iron encloses a garden of gravestones next to the church. A thin mist creeps among the graves.
We need to get you a new cable for that mic, William. I think that's the problem.
Maybe.
Every once in a while, something happens and you jump up in volume and then go back down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Probably
so
need
it's
to-
not just on my end.
Yeah, no,
No.
I think
Probably need to get a new connection for
I think we
the
need
mic.
a new cable for that mic. Yeah.
It is kind of bent at an awkward angle.
I walk up to the door of the church.
You Okay, yeah. So yes, you knock, and a few moments later, a elderly gentleman opens the door, looking at the group of you. Ah, welcome to the Church of Saint Andrel. How can I assist you, travelers? As he opens the door wide and
Saint Andrew, he is one of the Latter-day Saints, but not a bad guy.
Valis looks at that, looks confused for a second, looks back at the old man. Do you harbor undead here?
certainly not. The undead are not welcome in the house of the Morning Lord.
Top church yet. Says back to the rest of the group.
I just pat Valis on the back. Congratulations.
Valis' Yelp church reviews.
Well, I am Father Lucian Petrovich, and welcome to my church. How may I assist you?
We have a curiosity, Father, and was hoping that you could answer it for us. We are travelers, come from Barovia most recently, seeking to deal with the darkness on this land through whatever means we can. And we noticed that this town seems to be protected from the view or the influence, at the very least, of the damned Count Strahd. We were curious as to how that particular phenomenon came about. We're hoping perhaps you could tell us.
And we are assuming that the answer might conceivably be different than what
Then the
The
Burgermeister.
official law is.
Perhaps. Well, come in. I'll light some incense and we can have a conversation. And he sort of leads you inside, and there's a young man wandering around, probably like early 20s, with sort of like short black hair. He's sort of tan of skin, wearing a very simple jerkin with a shovel over his shoulder. Milivosh, he says. The priest says, talking to the young man, if you could fetch some of the incense and light some of it. He kind of looks over. Yes, Father. I'll get right on that. And he.
Meanwhile, Maria's like, and I thought Thavian names were hard to keep straight. God damn. So many itches.
And the young man leaves and returns with a bit of incense.
What was the father's name again?
Father Lucian Petrovich.
Petrovich. Right. So, incense gets lit.
Petrovich with an H.
Take a look around. Has this church been upkept?
Yes, it seems to be seeing age just from the sheer amount of time that it's existed, but it is being taken care of.
Good to know.
Valis is the happiest he's ever seen since they've come in this place, which is to say his expression and demeanor has not changed in the slightest.
But we still know. We can feel the happiness radiating off of Valis.
More like the lack of utter disdain for everything around him.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say that I know for certain exactly what keeps this town so safe. What I can say is we have managed to live most free from molestation by Strahd and his forces for several years now.
What changed?
As far as I can tell, not much. It's just that Strahd has not assaulted us in some time and seems to either be more preoccupied with other matters or something seems to be deterring him.
Was there some sort of new arrival a few years ago? Are the ravens a new thing? I know people have said the ravens are the thing that keep them away.
Well, some do put stock in the ravens, part of the Barovian and General Ravenloft theory that one should never harm a raven does stem from the idea that ravens are seen as protectors. I don't know how much stock I place in that, but honestly, I attribute it as much to the grace of the Morning Lord as I do to anything else.
These, this will at least answer this question. Were the festivities a thing before the attack stopped?
Yes. The Burgermeister seems to believe, I don't know why or what he thinks might occur from it, that if he can make everyone in the town happy, then they might be forever free from Strahd's grasp.
Yes.
So,
and we can confirm that the festivities are not the thing doing it.
yes.
See, now we have
Clearly.
confirmation. That is a good thing.
I already felt confirmed in my thoughts.
And wouldn't you have felt silly if it was true?
It wouldn't have been true, so I would not have felt silly.
Anyways. What of... you attribute to the Morning Lord, others attribute to the Ravens.
Yeah.
There has to be something that changed. Something that is here now that was not here a few years ago when Strahd was attacking.
I honestly can't point to anything in particular. something, perhaps something happened, or perhaps Strahd has simply decided to pass this place over for whatever reason. Perhaps it's more effort than it's worth. I'm uncertain.
Or perhaps he is toying with you all.
This is the possibility that I have often wondered about and feared, that perhaps he is simply cultivating false hope in this town.
When he did attack, how did he do it? Is it just legions of the undead?
It never was the same method twice. Marches of the undead, packs of wolves, the vampire himself. It's been a long time, and I can't recall any one particular attack any better than the others.
As much as I would wish the otherwise, it has been my experience that things do not simply change because we wish it.
No, and such is definitely truth. I simply wonder how long it will take for the hammer to fall, and either something proves that something has changed, or we learn that our fleeting hope is merely that.
Well then. Perhaps we should get on with the task of ridding this land of Strahd then before that hammer falls.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you know anything about individuals going missing in the town?
I'm afraid I have heard that Ezek has gathered contingents of guards to look for 2 missing persons, but I haven't heard any details.
Has there been anyone else reported missing?
Not to me. Well, no. Wait. Hang on.
I'm insight checking this motherfucker.
At this point, you're going to have to insight check William, who is checking the book to make sure what he said was true.
I understand. I'm insight checking proactively.
Just to be honest, no. No one has been reported missing, though a number of people have been reported imprisoned, as for speaking out against the Burgermeister's declarations that happiness will solve everything.
Define imprisoned.
And where are they imprisoned?
One of my flock that visits each night, Wilhelmina Rikolova, her son was the shoemaker of this town, Udo Lukovic. Apparently has been imprisoned for speaking out against the Burgermeister. No one knows, well, no one but the guards know, and they're not saying where he is, but I would suspect the stockades.
He was not one of the ones that the Burgermeister declared to be an agent of Strahd and thus needing to be cleansed of evil, was he?
I mean, he declares everyone who speaks against him to be an agent of Strahd. But whether he takes them to his manor or simply puts them in the stockades is a matter of chance, I suppose.
What is the general feel of the town on the Baron?
The festivals?
No, the Baron himself.
Oh, the Baron? Hard to say. The man is fragile, to say the least, and lashes out quickly. I think he mostly keeps the town in check by virtue of commanding the guard and Ezek in particular. It is rumored that Ezek's demonic arm can throw fire, and that threat is one that keeps most people at bay.
I look back at the others, my previous statement about Ezek, and with a meaningful look.
Does this Ezek happen to frequent any particular areas of the town? Like, does he have a favorite house he lives in? Does he stay?
He lives
on
in the
walls?
Burgermaster's house.
lives in the Burgomaster's house. Is there a particular whorehouse that he likes to visit? Anything that might be known?
The man is a strange one. I have seen him take no pleasure in anything except perhaps violence.
Where did the arm come from?
I'm unaware. As far as I know, he's had it since he came to this town.
When did he come
When
to this
was
town?
this?
Give me a second.
2 years ago. There is something in this town that wasn't here before then.
More or less than 2 years ago.
I need to pull up his.
As Ezek is the reason that Strahd's gonna have to come to this town, because I truly believe I will be killing that man.
Oh no! I think we're gonna be ridding this town of a burgermeister and a captain of the guard very soon.
Well, no, correction. He's been here for several years. But at some point... Well... he came here with a missing arm, I should say, properly.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a flock of crows calling somewhere?
Yes, I have the loudest fucking birds. And these aren't even the geese. The geese are so much worse.
Well,
I mean,
yes,
it's
because
appropriate.
geese are
Yeah.
fucking evil.
Yep, well, the geese will be showing up here soon.
Darn, we have about a soccer field's worth of geese.
Ezek appeared here as a child,
Season.
many, many years ago. But ever since we've known him, he's been an orphan with a missing arm. For some years after he was taken in by the Baron, however, he served as a loyal henchman and captain. But some years after he began doing Baron Velakovich's work, that new arm found its way onto him to replace his missing one. I don't know how or when, but...
Well, I suspect that the information we need is in the second floor of the Baron's home.
Well, I would be careful. The Baron is quick to employ the guards against those who speak out against him or act against him. And Ezek himself is no slouch in terms of lethality.
Perhaps we should then speak with...
Is there anybody who...
And the guards forsake their faith for this strategy?
Well, I think there's the fear of Ezek that keeps the guards in line, and the guards that keep the people in line. And so Ezek lies at the top of this pyramid of enforcing the Burgermeister's will.
Is there anybody left who has yet to be imprisoned?
The Wachters.
Yes.
The Wachters are the ones who speak the loudest against the Burgermeister and are, thus far, remain free and unimpinged.
Perhaps then we should speak to our wolf hunters and our Wachters and see if we cannot enlist some allies in dealing with this demonic threat.
Well, I would ask that you, should this task resort to violence, that you do your best to keep civilians from being injured.
Of course.
Everything I do is for the common people. I will make sure they are not harmed.
Well,
I say as I recite one of my personality traits.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you were really hoping to drop that one, weren't you? Yeah,
Well.
Connie will nod and head out unless we're doing more things here.
No, I think we're good.
Oh,
Oh.
he says, looking at Valis. My friend, are you a cleric of the
Yes.
faith?
I am a cleric of
A
not
faith.
this faith, but an allied one.
Well, what is your alignment, Valis?
Neutral good, oddly enough.
All right. Well, perhaps there's a matter that you might be able to assist me with. It is somewhat of a private matter of the church.
Of course.
Well, perhaps a little bit of history. This church is known as Saint Andrew's Church. Known so because it holds the bones of Saint Andrew beneath
Mhm.
beneath the chapel. Unfortunately, the crypt very recently has been robbed, and the bones have gone missing. The church is now in danger because of this, and I would hope that, as a man of faith, you might be willing to assist.
Of course. Do you have any leads?
He as he looks around and makes sure that no one else is in the room, and you notice the gentleman that had been here earlier has left to go tend the graves.
Mm-hmm.
I've not reported this theft for the fear of the distress that it might cause to others, but I suspect my groundskeeper, Milivaj. He has long been, shall we say, frustrated with the circumstances of the town. He does not believe the burgomaster's declarations that all will be well. And he feels... I suspect that he's frustrated that he can't protect his younger siblings. And I suspect that in his frustration and his suspicions, he may have taken the bones. Potentially that he might use them to some ends of protecting his younger siblings or his family. I know not exactly what his motives might be, but the crypt was pried open with a shovel, and, well, Milivaj's shovel is perhaps the only thing that remains on his person at all times.
I see.
Are all of us in here for this, or just Valis?
Yeah, all of you are here. He's just talking to Val specifically.
I happen to have some experience with a family member doing silly things to save their younger siblings.
I suspect they were.
With...
I suspect his intentions were not malicious. I would ask that you not harm him for this, but the return of the bones is necessary to the sanctity of the church.
Sorry, there's an asshole with a very small penis driving down my street right now.
It behooves the faithful to support each other and support the practice of the faith. It also behooves us to act with mercy and forgiveness where beauty can be found.
Right.
Right.
He says,
There is a distinct air of some smugness and a whole lot of jealousy coming from Connie right now.
Valis will get up. Where is this? What was it again?
Milovaj.
Where is this Milovaj?
Let me type his name for you.
Please.
Why the fuck would you spell it like that?
I mean, that's how I would spell Milovaj. Why the fuck
Okay.
would you name someone Milovaj? Is an entirely another question. Ask Eastern Europe because it is a Croatian name.
Sure.
He's usually tending the grounds. He says, indicating to the west where the graveyard is.
Honey
He
will.
stands up and heads out.
Do you know where he and his siblings
Do they
live?
happen to? Never mind. Sorry.
No, you were saying, Aaron? At the same time?
Do they happen to have any particularly like heavy tools, like a pile of bricks for rebricking? Something like for rebricking, like the fence or something like that.
In this room?
Yeah.
Not visible. This is sort of the
Oh.
main chapel. It's kept pretty clean.
All right.
And you were saying,
Do
Jeff?
you know where does Milovaj and his siblings live?
I'm
Around
afraid
what part of town?
he's one of the houses near the church. He's very quick to arrive here in the morning for his duties.
You don't know specifically where.
I do not. I'm afraid. Most of the flock comes from all around town to maintain. I am quite busy trying to maintain the church most of the time.
I followed after Valis, but I'm keeping a bit of a distance because I'm going to let Valis handle this.
See, that was your first mistake.
Connie
Unless
is gonna
Valis
stay
asks
up
for
in the
help.
front by Valis, and she is basically looking for something that it would be reasonable for her to be. If we can find the groundskeeper, she's looking for something that she can use to demonstrate how much stronger than a normal person she is.
You can find definitely like loose rocks around the graveyard that you can just pick up. So we will, as you head out into the graveyard and you spy this young man, again probably early 20s, shoveling dirt around the fence to try and keep the posts covered up as the dirt kind of erodes away around them. And as you approach him to have a conversation with him, that is where we will end for the evening.
All right. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Adios.
Goodbye.